a question which is a bit of a sort of, this is my theory, and maybe it's not anybody else, maybe it's, I don't know if I picked up from where. But for me, when I had my baby weight and I was trying to I can't diet because I need to, I like food. Yeah. But I saw someone who was having this, he did some kinesiology me, and we did clearing, and so I cleared myself through my governing system, clear some kind of crap from me, emotional crap. Yeah. And every time I'd be eating healthily, and then I'd clear myself, and then I'd lose another couple of pounds. I really have this real feeling, and like when I was ill, and I lost 6 pounds being ill, lying in bed, and I knew I did a big clear out, that some of our weight is associated with emotional baggage that we carry.
Well, nearly all of it, especially with women. The excess weight a lot of women carry is protection and is against being hurt and being whatever. Right. And I mean, I
wonder why that's why I've put on quite a bit since I've started this relationship that I'm in.
But really,
that's where my weight went.
But it's also to do with to some extent with contentment as well.
Of course.
But it's interesting where you get this sort of thing that it's like you find that if you protect yourself more, if you actually clear out some of the crap, which is the second chakra baggage you carry, you do find the whole system tends to work a lot better.
Yeah, because it's quite, and I don't know if you've found that as well, because I definitely feel that if I'm clearing myself, if I keep on top, and now I know I need to have, twice a month I need to have a session, and I need to go, because I think when you're working on other people as well, I don't want you picking up stuff that...
Yeah, and you have to get, if you work, especially if you're working on other people, you have to get in the habit of doing it very, very regularly. And get a routine. I used to have a routine when I worked 5 days a weekend. I was teaching weekends as well. I had a routine. You wonder why I ended up with Epstein Barr. I had a routine, and I was doing my set ed. I had a routine that every so many weeks I'd sit down and I would actually work out a structure of corrections, energy corrections for myself that I would then do to empty out
what you had.
Because although I was very protected, I knew I still picked up other stuff, and I just got into a habit of just actually ditching it.
I also think about protection. I think there's you can protect yourself as much as you think you can, and you think you've got it tip top, and there's a little help. I seem to pick up. I realise how protected I am.
Yeah, but that's partially to do with the relationships that you have between yourself and your clients, because there has to be a hook somewhere, or they wouldn't come to you.
Okay, so maybe on that link, things are able to pass through, and things that you hold in common.
And sometimes, if you can step back far enough when you're working on them, you can see the bugger, arrive, and you think,
okay, clock that one.
Make a note. I need to deal with this
that afterwards.
And you need to sort that out. And you're getting used to in the end watching for those, because if there isn't that, they wouldn't come to you.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, the trouble is this is the difficulty when trying to unhook family stuff, is because it is so ingrained. But again, if you can step back a little bit, sometimes you can see some of that stuff as well.
I think the bottom line is that if you're a therapist and you're working on yourself, either you working yourself or somebody else working,
but you've got to keep on.
You should be okay.
But you have to be vigilant.
Yeah, it's when you're like, I'm a therapist, I'm sorted, I don't need it.
The classic, I work in the light, so I'm all right. It's like,
nothing can get me.
That is the worst case scenario,
because you are the light, you attract it.
Yeah, you'll get eaten alive.
I kind of disagree with what you said there about if you're looking after yourself, because I think that if you're, I can do as much as I can on my... maybe it's just me, but I definitely need an outside influence to...
But I think it's how regularly you do that, and you find that when you first start working, you need it very regularly, and then eventually you'll get out, you'll find that it's more becomes an MOT situation. But it's always good to cultivate a couple of people that you can go to that
know you
enough.
It's interesting, Sue's been working on me for a long time, and I go to her for course corrections, and it's like there's an awful lot I can do on myself now, but there's the bits that I can't do. And what's infuriating now is I'll go to Sue and she says, it's this, you can do it yourself. It's like, it's the bits that I couldn't get myself, but my body's still saying,
Yeah.
but you do it yourself.
But it's quite often that the, you know, as soon as Brian opens with it, it's like I'll say, well, so, how did I miss that?
Yeah. And I said, I never ever got that to myself.
Yeah.
And she said, but you needed some, you know, and I could do the correction myself.
Yeah, that's right. But you just need someone.
A bit of someone just to guide me in to
But
get
you're
there.
open to the fact that you need it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's good to have some people that you can go to, that you can, even if you're not doing anything consciously, knowing you need fixing for things. And of course, you know, if you hit brick wall, it's like, you know, like Ariana found, you need to go hunting out somebody.
I have to say that the young guy I've found, he does vortex healing.
Can fix it. Yeah.
Oh my God! Last week when I went to him, he took out terror that was locked in my heart. And he said, I said, that's past life. And he said, yes, it was.
Yeah. But it is, it's like, but you'll find that it comes in waves. You know, and you can go for a long time, and then suddenly you hit another. And it's like, you know, and I find now it's a bit of a problem like Ariana. It's not as easy to find people to fix stuff now.
But he's really good, I have to say. He's done a lot of work on himself. He's off to the Ashram for 2 months.
But the thing is as well, it's like they've got to be away from you to some extent, but they've also got to be able to be there as well. And it's like, but it's good to have a few people you can call on.
And that's what I think is really good about what Sue and Simon put together and we've taken forward, is that you can see relationships forming. So, for example, there's Naomi down in Plymouth, works with Charmaine, who's up in, I think, up country somewhere, but they work together, you know, and their strengths, they complement each other, you know. So it's like these sort of things put people together.
But it's
networking.
It's
important to have
those
structures.
But it's very important, and it's like, and it's amazing. It's quite interesting how they can let them develop at very different sorts of levels. But there's hopefully there's always someone there that you can go and ask. You know, it's like being the AA. You know, there's someone that you can go and ask, and if they don't know who, they'll know someone who can. And it's like, and it's really important to do that because.
And it's important of the lineage, and there's people that are further ahead than you, and there's people that are not as far ahead as you. But like you said, then if they don't know, then they pass it up the line, and they pass it up the line.
Or they pass it into a different sector, and then you say, well, actually, that person, you know, that area is the sort that you need.